Every week, a new band. Brought to you by NZ On Air. Active Live! Yeah.
Kia ora, welcome to your favourite part of the week. It is a Friday afternoon, and it is also Active Live. I am your host, Ryan, and today we are joined in the Active Live studio by a band that has been hot on the scene this year, releasing 3 singles and 1 EP just in this year alone. Their music has been described as brooding with synth-driven landscapes, atmospheric, equal parts menace and melody, bringing rural aggression with dance floor romance, having some huge success on both the Radioactive and SRN charts. I'd love to welcome to the Active studio Hayden and Matt, better known as Breaches. How you guys feeling today?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Of course. I reckon we don't keep the audience waiting and we jump straight into a song.
Sounds good.
The floor is
Sounds
yours.
good to us.
Who's that calling? What's his orders? You should call her. That's your daughter. What's in heaven? Bring her out. Drag you under into her heart. Take away the only thing you see. Waste away the afternoon with sleep. Hold your head high above the sea. Wash away the evil things you think. Border collar, taking orders. Treading water, that's disorder. Bound together, can't go home. Where your children left alone. Take me to the place you want to dream. In a world where no one hears you scream. They could never find the time to breathe. He's the only son that wants to breathe. The only thing you say. Waste away the afternoon with sleep. Hold your head high above the sea. Wash away the evil things you think. Take me to the place you want to dream. In a world where no one hears you scream. They could never find the time to dream. He's the only son that wants to breathe.
Woo! Superb track.
Thank you.
Run me
Thank
through how that track came to be.
I think it started with the bass line.
Yeah. A lot of our stuff tends to go that way, and I have some words already kind of milling around.
I think with that one, normally I try and build out and kind of, layer something different over the top, but I basically matched the riff with that riff that I was doing, and it just sounded super post-punky, super dancey, and we just went with it. Felt right.
Yeah, nice. And so you mentioned that, that song starts with the base in terms of the writing process, and that most of your stuff kind of flows in that way. Do you guys share much of the lyricism in your band, or is that kind of in the wheelhouse of one? Or
Well, I think it's definitely that's like I see Hayden as the lead singer, and me as the backing singer. But yeah, there's a bit of interplay with just how different our voices sound. There's some parts where he thinks that my voice would make sense for this chunk, or when a couple of songs that I've come up with an idea of, I've been writing with his voice in my head for a lot of it. Like sharing out those different sections.
yeah, awesome. And I mean, speaking of writing music and releasing music, you guys have been on an absolute roll with the releases this year, and it seems like you've really found your audience and your music's been received really well. How do you think the response has been on your end for putting out music this year?
It's been pretty unexpected and
Crazy.
amazing. We've been doing it a couple years, and both of us are pretty new and fresh to writing music and making music and everything in general. So, while we were trying to find our own feet and make a sound, we weren't really sure, if anyone would respond. And
I guess we're trying to be honest with our writing and not fighting what comes naturally. And I guess we're a couple of Kiwi dudes from Wellington, so it's like maybe that's the connection point with a lot of it.
Like it seems that there's been some really good momentum behind the band this year, and you're saying that you're trying to find your feet musically. Has that momentum picked up and almost swept you off your feet? Because from an audience perspective, looking at you guys, things have really picked up this year. So have you guys felt that?
yeah, totally a bit
Big time.
trying to find the time to write new stuff and do shows and in between day jobs, and it's been amazing, but a bit unexpected. We weren't ready, I guess, for.
Yeah, it was kind of like the stars aligned with a lot of the stuff. Like we put on our first show that we put on ourselves at the Welsh Dragon, and just happened to get an interview with you guys like the week of, and get like a number one on the Wednesday charts. So it was just like, oh wow, this is just kind of rolling organically, and we've definitely put in a lot of time in the studio. So it's pretty amazing to see that take hold.
Yeah, fantastic. That perfectly segues into my next question. With the releases that you've put out this year, like just taking a second to talk about the production behind your music, like the recordings sound amazing. You have a sound that, as a listener, really really swallows you up. It's super all encompassing. How are you guys recording your music and mixing your music?
Yeah, well, I mean, as you'll see, there's no drummer, so it's all in the box and the MPC. I sort of like, before this, I was making a lot of house, and then, like 10, maybe 15 years ago, I was making a lot of drum and bass. So I've come from that producer, electronic music mindset and brought it into this. And so it's kind of just been a natural thing, like I like my synth noises and my dark grittiness. So I just sort of applied it to this context, and it found that it really mixed with that post-punk sound like quite well.
Yeah.
But in terms of recording, like the only thing we've done that's kind of gone outside of the studio space has gone to like Johnsonville Public Library to use their treated room for getting nice vocals, But now we can do that here.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we've been trying to kind of keep it DIY and to ourselves, I guess. Like, as we're trying to learn the songwriting, it's kind of cool to learn the whole package, and all that stuff. So, it's been pretty lo-fi, to be honest. And
Yeah, I feel like I've got confidence to master our tracks from this project. It's like it's very much a work in progress. Like we're learning as we go.
Yeah, nice. So, I mean, when you say that your recording is DIY, is that something that you guys are doing like at home, most of it, like in a room in a garage?
in our practice space, and we just basically plug for a Focusrite into the computer.
Exactly.
It's,
Just a cheap Scarlett Focusrite.
I think just
it's working.
talking about kind of your producing background, you've obviously thought about the listening experience of your music.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's fantastic, and I mean, it seems that the mixing desk and the producing side of things is an extension of your musical talent on instruments as well. It just seems like another instrument that you guys use
Sure. Yeah,
when putting your music out. And so Yeah, I mean, how long does it typically take to record a track and mix a track? Is it you guys going into the studio with a fully formed, or going into your space with a fully formed song, or is a lot of that creative process in the recording of the track?
No, we've pretty much got the song locked down once we want to go to that stage.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty quick, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have lived inside a few of these tracks for quite a while, you know, like not listening to anything else except that track while I'm working on it, trying to get it to that finish point. But yeah, some take longer than others. Like Spin Me Around, definitely I wasn't necessarily super happy with it at the end, but then it went to number 1 here on Active. So, you know, what do I know? Just and then actually for Wellington is Dead, I kind of just purposely did it cheap and fast, and you know, went for the lo-fi angle, and it seems to hit right.
Yeah, I think for me, trying to get the vocals recorded is the hardest thing because I got no idea how to sing, as is probably pretty clear. So that's been a hard thing to try and get those takes done, but also listen back to them and work on them, and
Yeah, not be embarrassed by your own voice.
Totally, yeah, getting over it, I guess, has been a huge hurdle.
And I mean, it's obviously not, not an issue for the audience. 'Cause, I mean,
Yeah,
with
Yeah.
tracks going to number 1 and people rocking up to shows and rocking up to gigs and listening to your music online, I mean, it's obviously hitting the right spot. So
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we're finding the people, which is great.
awesome. Well, should we give the people a little bit more of what Breaches has to offer? What do you guys got up next?
Yeah, we got a brand new song actually. We have played it live, I think, twice now, but
Yeah.
we're hoping to release it as a single near future. But yeah, we thought we'd test it out here today. So
Perfect.
yeah, it's called Falling Down.
I'm very looking forward to that song coming out.
Thanks so much.
That'll definitely be going in the playlist. Just a quick comment. I really love how your music translates from being recorded to seeing it now performed live. I mean, I've seen a few different acts who, you listen to their stuff online and the production's fantastic, and, they've obviously put a lot of thought into the mix, and you see them live and it doesn't really translate. But for you guys, it's like, it's almost like you're listening to the record. I really love watching you
appreciate
guys perform and listening to you guys perform.
That'll be the vocal pedals.
You've described your music as being aggression, like rural aggression meets dance floor romance. Talk to me about those two ideas and how they play a part in your music.
Yeah, that kind of came about when we first started and talking about what music we were gonna make and where we were coming from. And we both live in Wellington now, obviously, but I grew up in the rural Waikato on dairy farms and that sort of has shaped a lot of who I am growing up. And then Matt's a city boy, and so we always talked about kind of, I guess, bringing those like growing up influences into our music, the sort of the rural and the urban, and then Matt coming from a dance music background and me growing up as a teen goth,
An aggressive.
yeah, a lot of anger, and so yeah, it's kind of those two worlds meeting, I think, and we wanted to make music that you could dance to and that, but also had, I guess, some heart to it. And some stuff to deal with, while you're talking about it.
Yeah, and it's almost like a direct reflection of the music that we'd started making, with the housey beats and like pretty sounds, but also distorted guitars and a bit of crunch. So it was reflexive of that as well.
Yeah, awesome. The imagery behind this band as well is fantastic, whether it be from your music videos to gig posters to photo shoots. How important is having that visual element to the band? I mean, there's like obviously a lot of thought that's been put into it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty key. We kind of wanted to, I guess, do what's the way to say it, like a whole package, We're really influenced by not just music, but things like film and books and
Fashion.
And so, yeah, our idea was to kind of put forward like a cohesive look and image, so when you listen to us and then you see the videos or see photos, you go, oh yeah, that makes sense, that's who, that's what I expected to see.
Yeah.
I guess it's just another way for us to combine all those influences, not just in the songs, but
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot, but it's also like what has still come naturally, like these are the clothes we like, and we come from New Zealand, and I guess what the imagery we've thought about, is it's like that post-punky, like
yeah, it's a lot of
economic crash vibes. You know what I mean? Like we saw like a state house that was derelict, and we're like, that's the perfect place for a photo shoot. So and then juxtaposing that with like nice clothes or something. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and a lot of that, like the post-punk stuff, is a lot of it you see is obviously UK-centric and sort of now Eastern European and stuff, and we wanted to do, I guess, similar sound, but inherently still New Zealand, and what we're talking about. And yeah, so that's why we try and do photo shoots around Wellington with places that we see and relate to as well.
Yeah, I definitely think, the image that you guys put forward, it is just really authentic. You do listen to the music, and then you see the music videos, and you see the photos, and you see what you guys are putting out, and you just go, yeah, like I that makes sense. That looks awesome to me. And I would
that comes across.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, and I would implore people to go check out the Left Behind music video. I was watching that one earlier, and it shows that you guys aren't just putting production, into your music, but the image and stuff as well. Talk to me about the importance of music videos. I wish more local bands would do more music videos, and you guys have put out a few now, and they look fantastic. So talk to me about those.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're key. I mean, I grew up on, music videos on TV, Juice TV and MTV, and it was such an important part of discovering bands because it gave you a little bit more insight into who they were, not just the radio. And so I love them, and I wish, it was a bigger thing. And yeah, we want to do more. We're working on one now for Wellington is Dead, the latest single. Yeah, and I always try, when I find a new band, that's one of the first things I go to look for is have they got any videos out, and what can that tell me about them. And like our videos, we do, again, like with the music, it's basically done with us and our friend Tom helping
Yeah,
you
zero
know,
zero
no
dollar
money.
budget.
Yeah, like we just put up black curtains to make it look like we're in the middle of nowhere. You know, like there's
Yeah.
ways to do it.
Yeah, we actually. Should we tell them we recorded both at the same time? Both our videos were recorded at the same time, and we just did a slightly different setup.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, nice.
And then we edit them. And yeah, thanks to our mate Tom, who has all the fancy camera gear to share. They look quite good.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna kind of dig in a little deeper about the process behind the music videos, because it does look like you have a team there filming stuff, putting up lighting, editing the whole thing. So, with it being Tom, are you guys sitting down and discussing ideas beforehand? Is it something you guys are just kind of doing on the fly? Like,
Yeah, like we have the idea, and then we kind of just tell them to film us. And then afterwards, you can do magic in post production when you're editing. So that's where we kind of work it. But also we're not really putting pressure on ourselves to go too deep, because it is zero budget. Like we have day jobs, so it's like we're just trying to do what we can, keep it simple, but also have a bit of quality behind it.
and I think as well, talking about still being a Kiwi band when you guys describe your music, I think the DIY ingenuity behind the visual stuff that you put out, and even the recording that you guys put out, saying that you guys just do a lot of it at home, I think goes to prove that DIY is as good as something that could have $1 million
Totally.
behind it.
The way I like to think about it is it's good enough. Like the quality of a Focusrite is good enough for what we're doing, especially when it's buried in the mix and you've got effects on your vocals. That's fine. Yeah.
Awesome. Should we jump into another track?
Yeah, sounds good. We'll slow it down a bit for this next one. It's called Spin Me Around, which has been playing a bit recently, which we're really surprised about, because it's the last track on the EP, and we thought it would be, the quiet sleeper song that some people might stumble across one day. The fact that some stations picked it up was a huge win for us. Yeah, it's called Spin Me Around, and it's a love song.
Awesome.
the drum. Will I be next? Will I be done? Can I be saved? Locked in a cage? Will I betray or will I behave? Building me up, pulling me down, spin me around, holding me round, calling my name, breaking my heart, pull me apart, back at the start.
You guys have just joined us listening to the music on the airwaves. It is Active Live, and we are joined in the studio today by Breaches. Do you guys feel that with it just being a duo, with it just being you two, do you guys find that it's creatively freeing or restricting?
I think freeing in a way. Yeah, we didn't set out to be a duo when we first started. Things just fell into place that way. And then we realised we were onto something good and it was working. There's obviously some practical things that make it easy, like two people's schedules. Travelling is really easy. But yeah, it's great. It makes it so much easier, I think, to bounce ideas off each other. And, you know, if something's not working, then we can just say, well, it's not working, let's move on. You know,
Yeah.
there's not as many voices in the room, so...
Yeah, we like to think we don't have too much ego either. So it's like, if something's not working for one person, like the other person is happy to leave it, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's working for now.
Yeah. It definitely sounds like it's working with the music you guys are putting out and just listening. And even just watching you guys perform together, it looks like you guys are gelling really well. You guys are playing off each other, and it's you guys are really interesting to watch. I really love watching you guys perform.
Cheers, thank
nice.
you.
What do you want people to take away from listening to your music? Is it a feeling? Is it a message? Like, yeah, what do you want the audience to receive from listening to your tunes?
I guess just connection, right? Like getting it, because for us this is just it's like an honest endeavor, and we're playing the music that feels right to us. So if it feels right to other people, then I think that's definitely a win.
Yeah, I think it's about hoping that people, find some connection with someone that also lives here, like they do. You know, I guess going back to growing up as a teenager and stuff, all the music I fell in love with always seemed to be from another country, and unattainable. I couldn't meet those people or be in their circles, and then growing up now and realizing you can do that. There is so much music here in New Zealand, and maybe I didn't have the internet when I was a teenager, maybe showing my age, but maybe it's easier for young people now. But I always wanted to find bands in New Zealand that felt the way I did or were singing the stuff that I wanted to hear, and I couldn't find that when I was growing up. And now I have found that I'm older, but I'm hoping I can be that for someone as well, find that connection and, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that actually almost perfectly segues into what my next question was going to be, was, you know, just ignoring the audience for a second, what is this band and this music to you two? You know, because I mean, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing about being in a creative partnership. Does it make you guys happy?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a hobby and a creative outlet. You know, I've always made music in some kind of way, and normally by myself. But now I've found like this organic, way of making music with someone else, and it works. So it's like just like one of those other worlds. You know, you got your family, you got your work, you got your friends, and it's just kind of adding another world or another dimension to life, which is interesting and new. You know, you put yourself out there in different ways, go on stage and do things you'd never normally do. You know, so it's exciting in that kind of way.
Yeah, I'm naturally a pretty anxious person, and so forcing myself to get out there and I guess read your diary to strangers, it's been really good for my, I guess, self-belief and confidence, and I feel like I do want to share things with people, but don't know how to do that in normal life, so standing on
just
stage.
Needed a beat.
Yeah, standing on stage with some music behind me, really helps. So, yeah.
I feel like that's something that a lot of musicians feel is, you can it's easier to write your feelings and get your stuff out there through a creative art form than necessarily just, straight up
Just
telling
talking.
people.
Exactly, yeah.
For
Exactly.
sure.
It's more complicated, but it's actually easier.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
Something to lean back on, I guess.
Totally, yeah.
Here on Radioactive, we have a tradition of a pass it forward question. And last time on Active Live, we had Spiral, and they've got a question for you guys. And they want to know what your go-to staple is after a show for food, whereas Breach is heading to replenish the energy.
Do we eat after?
We don't normally. I guess it goes for before as well, but I'd say like the classic kebab is the safest choice. There's one in every town you go to.
No spicy, no, always mild.
Yeah, mild kebab. It's got vegetables. It's got carbs. There's always one within 10 meters of every gig venue. You really can't go wrong.
I think after is definitely a beer, or a whiskey. Time to chill out a little bit.
Something on the rocks.
Yes, definitely.
Your turn, guys. What do you wanna know from the next band in the Active studio?
Have you got one?
No, not off
It can be about absolutely anything. It doesn't have to be music related. It can be as philosophical as you want it to be, or as non-philosophical as you want it to be.
I guess I'm always curious to see if someone was going to cover a New Zealand song, what would be their choice and why, because it's something we want to do one day too, but it's a hard decision, Yeah. So, it'd be cool to see what other people
It's
do.
a dangerous game doing covers.
Yeah.
Can't pick a song better than your own.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much for coming into the Active studio today. It has been such an honor having you guys
Thank you.
come in and share your music with us. I'm going to give you guys the mic for 30 seconds. Tell us where people can find you. Tell us what you've got coming up. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, cool. So we are working on some remixes at the moment to Wellington is Dead, which came out recently, and the music video, so that should be not too far away. And then, another single, and the main plan is our first album, which on the cards for next year at this stage.
Yeah, find us on Instagram at Breaches Band.
Yeah, gig-wise, we've got a few things kind of underway, but nothing locked in yet. So, follow us on there and watch the space. And, check out YouTube for music videos too. They're all up there.
Yeah. Awesome. I'll get you guys to play us out with one more song in just a second. But once again, thank you so much for coming in to the studio and playing us your songs. Active listeners, you guys can find us every Friday at 3:30 for more Active Live goodness. Special thanks to NZ On Air for always helping us get local bands on the air for Active Live. Guys, play us out. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This is Wellington is Dead.
Active Live. Friday, 3:30. Every week a new band. In studio. Brought to you by NZ On Air.